Storytime with Herbal Roots zine. I'm Kristine Brown, and today I'm going to read to you a story I wrote for Herbal Roots zine from issue number 48, Awesome Aloe. Do you have an aloe plant in your home? This popular houseplant has been used as a folk remedy for burns, cuts, and scrapes for decades. Not only are they easy to care for, but they grow and reproduce quickly, making them an easy plant to share with friends and family. And did you know that aloe's gel that we use on cuts and burns can be used for inflammation and digestive issues? As a cooling and moistening herb, aloe has a lot of great medicinal uses. So today's story is how aloe became succulent, and it shares just how aloe became the juicy plant that we know and love today. Long ago in time, there lived people of the deserts and warm terrains of Africa in Ethiopia. The climate in Ethiopia was as it is still today, with parts of it being hot, dry, and arid. The people of this land were adapted to the hot and arid lowlands that they called their home, but this did not mean that their bodies didn't suffer from the dryness. The people were often parched and had dry, itchy skin. They looked and looked for a way to soothe and nourish their irritated skin, but did not find anything to help ease their suffering. There were many plants that grew around, but all were dry and shriveled, also suffering from the lack of moisture in the air and the ground they grew in. Aloe grew all around in this climate, but she was not the plant that we know of today. In this time, aloe's leaves were flat and dry, almost like blades of grass. Aloe often heard of people's cries for a plant to soothe their parched skin and pondered how she could be of help to them. "Mother," she called out to her mother, the earth, "how can we help these people who are so parched and dry? How can I be of use to them?" Mother Earth was touched that her plant child wanted to help the people, but unsure why. "Why do you want to help these people?" she asked Aloe. "Because these people are so generous. I see they treat you with respect and only take what they need for their survival. They do not plunder or destroy plants and animals for enjoyment. They do not complain of their inflictions, even when they suffer." Mother Earth reflected back to the deeds of the people, and she had to agree with Aloe that the people had been very respectful with the resources around them. "You're quite right, Aloe. Let me think on this for a while and see if we can come up with a solution." The season of rain was upon the people of Ethiopia, and so the rains came down upon them. The people of Ethiopia collected the water to store up for the more arid times. After a few days of pondering the needs, Aloe came up with an idea after watching them collect that water. "Mother, Mother," she cried out excitedly. "What is it, my plant child?" asked Mother Earth. "I've come up with an idea. With all this rain coming down, perhaps I could store it up in my leaves, just as the people store it up the water in their ditches and in their jars." "But how would that help their skin?" asked the mother. Aloe drooped. She was so sure of her idea that she hadn't stopped to consider that she would just be full of water, which didn't seem to help their parched skin. She dipped a leaf into a nearby puddle, stirring it around a bit. Just then, some resin from a nearby tree dripped into the puddle, landing next to her leaf. Her leaf stirred in the resin, and when she pulled her leaf from the puddle, a long string of sticky goo hung from it. "I know!" exclaimed Aloe excitedly. "What if the insides of my leaves were like this?" She held up the sticky goo-laden leaf for Mother Earth to see. "Indeed," said Mother Earth thoughtfully. "I think we can work with that." Mother Earth stroked the tree and encouraged him to drip down more resin into the puddle, which Aloe mixed with her leaves. "Drink up the mixture in your roots, Aloe. Your leaves will become thick and succulent from the mixture." Aloe did as Mother Earth instructed her. As she did so, her leaves became thick and full of a moistening gel. Mother Earth walked around to the other aloe plants in the area and explained the plan to them. All the plants readily drank up the mixture and became plump. The next day, the people walked past the plants on their way to forage. One of them noticed the plump leaves of the plant and called out to the others. They looked on in amazement at this plant that had never looked so thick and succulent before. One bent down and broke off a leaf. The gel from the inside of the leaf began seeping out. She rubbed the gel on her skin and a smile broke out on her face. She showed the others her discovery, and they all carefully broke off a leaf from the surrounding plants to try. And from that day on, the people used aloe in their daily routine, and their skin became soft and nourished again. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you'd like to learn more about aloe, you can find the Aloe ebook in my shop. I'll put a link in the description. Aloe is also a part of my year-long course, The Next Step, and is a featured lesson in Herb Club. You can also find links to this in the description below. Thanks for visiting Herbal Roots Zine for Storytime, and I'll see you next time.